hello out there wherever you are. As for me, what is the opening weekend of 2024 Phantom Fall Fest at Kennywood Park. And, you know, I always like coming out to Fall Fest. Now, usually I do come opening night, but didn't get a chance to this year. It's still opening weekend. It's the second night. My concern with Saturdays versus Fridays is that Saturdays are usually busier. But we're going to see how this goes. Hopefully we'll be able to, it's not some like hour-long wait to get in some of the haunts. And based on my last encounter at Kennywood, I decided to take it upon myself to reach out to Kennywood to see if we could set something up. And Kennywood, as expected, did not respond at all, which is fine. No ill will towards Kennywood in any way. I knew that would be something potentially that they could do. You know, I could throw my weight around and be like, you know who I am. I'm Pittsburgh City Papers, third runner-up for best YouTube channel. But instead, that's fine. I think me and Kennywood had to have a nice partnership doing videos, granting special access, maybe even filming in some of the haunts, but what do I know? It was worth a shot. But always looking forward to Phantom Fall Fest. It's the best event Kennywood puts on all year by a considerable margin. It's my favorite for sure. And the actors are very, very good. And the event itself is very, very good. Now, I usually don't ride any rides. Part of the appeal is that they have the haunted houses, they have the scare zones, and they also have the rides. But if you don't ride any rides, it's based on the haunted houses and the scare zones by themselves. And based on that, it's a great event, as long as you don't compare it to any other haunted house in the area. Based on a standalone event, it's great. So, let's step inside Kennywood Park for Phantom Fall Fest 2024. My hair's crazy today. And Tom was here.
Hey guys, it's Blake Henson.
Angelo Spagnol.
Dorn Dickerson.
This is Donnie Football from 93.7 The Fan.
And I'm KDKA meteorologist Mary Hours, and you're watching
Tom was here.
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 Like a true professional. That's incredible. And that season pass processing and security was intense this evening. They are really enforcing that chaperone policy for sure. And the processing, you know, you think there wouldn't be a lot of people processing passes. Surprisingly good bit. Also, it seemed everybody had like a big long story to be told until my wife got up there, and then it was just like, yep, you're good. It took like 15 seconds when she actually got to a line. Also, this is the first time my wife's been with me on a haunt for maybe ever, at least been since Zombies of the Corn like 7 or 8 years ago, or maybe 10 years ago. It could be that long. But she's expressed an interest in wanting to go to certain haunted houses, and I'm kind of excited about this. This will be an interesting event. So we're gonna step inside. We'll see if I can get some of her reactions on this. Huh? That's the idea. Because there may or may not be people in here, depending. It might even be too late for there to be actual people. Yes, it was. And yet, no worries, because there's literally no one in here. There's supposed to be, but that's okay. They abandoned this tunnel very early this evening. Very early. Ooh, I was downgraded, didn't expect that. We're in. One thing of Friday versus Saturday. This is the Kennyville Cemetery line, and it is lengthy. I don't know if I've ever waited this long in this line, ever. Usually it's just a straight walk on, but this is a lot of people here this evening.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Kennyville Cemetery. My name is Gary. I'm the guy in charge here. Got a slight problem here in the Kennyville Cemetery. It has nothing to do about my management style, or lack thereof for that matter, but there is no more room in hell. The dead are now walking the earth. These dead are hungry. They eat their victims. That's what keeps them going. You all make a nice meal for these animated corpses, so if you want to make it through tonight, you better pay attention. No eating, no drinking, no smoking, no cell phones, no flash photography of any kind in the Kennyville Cemetery. You as a group will walk through, you'll be quiet and respectful. Those who want respect, give respect. What I say goes. It's my cemetery after all. So keep your hands to yourself You don't touch the dead, and they won't touch you. Another thing too, the path is straightforward. It's concrete, mulch, concrete, mulch. Right, Tom?
Exactly right.
I say concrete, you say mulch. Concrete, mulch. Concrete, mulch. Concrete, mulch. Concrete,
Mulch.
the journey to the concrete and the
Mulch.
mulch. Wow, that sounded pretty dead inside. You'll fit in here just fine. We'll begin as soon as you cross over the bridge. Enjoy your stay 6 feet under in the Kennyville Cemetery, where time enters but never leaves.
Garrett, the Kennyville caretaker, always takes care of me. He's my favorite haunt host in Kennywood. But Kennyville Cemetery is a 10-minute wait haunt, is what it should be. Problem is we waited about 30. So when waiting 30 versus waiting 10, you're a little bit underwhelmed when you walk out after 30 minutes of waiting for that. But, they had a few, it seemed like a little light as far as actors, but I could be wrong. But there's a lot of people here tonight, so that's why it was a significantly longer wait. Could be wrong on this, but I don't think I've ever actually seen Spinvasion going at night. Not once, so this will be an interesting thing for all of us. I still have yet to ride it. It's been here now, it opened last year. I've yet to ride this ride. The line is pretty lengthy this evening anyway. On the move. This look cool at night. This is meant to be, this ride is meant for night riding, which is why Kennywood should be open nighttime much longer. Yeah. I haven't been at Hellbilly Hollow, and I don't think it was open last year. I think we had the power outage thing and they weren't open.
Hi there.
Hello.
You like my handiwork?
I do.
Yeah, it takes a long time to get a cut this clean, especially when they squirm.
Oh, I bet they did.
Squirm?
Absolutely.
Oh, my friends to hold you down. Get your face off there. That is
Yes,
my collection.
indeed. Oh, that's nice. How many you got so far?
Well, I kind of lost count.
Don't get on my face! Follow my face back, bitch! I can't tell if that was part of the ad.
I don't think so. I think she was an independent, yeah. He was not, I don't think she was employed. Saw a few at the entrance, but it seems very empty in the hollow this evening. There's a few.
You were not sneaky one, bro.
Was sneaky on them. Was sneaky on them for sure.
Look at hamburgers.
Ah, look at that. That I like. Hamburgers. That's funny.
Howdy.
Hello.
Y'all stay safe now.
Yes, indeed.
That meat's for me.
All right. See, Kennywood stopped off at Jeter's. I got a lemonade, but the wife didn't like her pina colada, so now I have a pina colada. It's not nearly as good as the lemonade, but this is where I have to gripe, Kennywood. Kennywood, I have to gripe. I can't help myself. I walked over to Voodoo Bayou, and guess what's not operating tonight? Voodoo Bayou. This is the third year in a row on opening weekend, or at least opening night, where Voodoo Bayou is not operational on a limited haunt season. Haunt season's only a month. Why is it not open? Now, maybe you don't have the scare actors, maybe you don't have the, I don't know what it is exactly, but Voodoo Bayou should be open. Like all haunts are open, opening weekend. That's the whole point of it. So, the third year in a row, I'm out on Voodoo Bayou. No voodoo bayou for me, unfortunately. Stopped off in the Parkview Cafe, and since I'm not going to have voodoo bayou tonight, I figured I would grab voodoo pasta. That's one of the good things Kennywood's doing. They're having specialty dishes that are themed kind of with their events. And I grabbed the voodoo pasta here. We're going to check it out and see how it is. I'm very curious about this one. I think it smells pretty good, so we'll give it a shot. It may not look much in the soft green light, but yeah, it looks pretty good. It smells pretty good. But does it taste pretty good? That's the question. No, that's fine. It's actually surprisingly, like, not bad. Oh, you're giving me a light? Here, give me a light on this action? All right. Not bad. The meat is like a spicy sausage. It's actually pretty good. Complements the rest of the meal pretty well. Definitely spicy. There's a kick to it for sure. But not bad. I would get this again. This is one of the better Kennywood dishes they've ever come up with. I would get this as a regular meal on here. I think it's pretty good. Let's see what's going down here. Down the Dead Light District. Oh! Oh, that was a lot of water this year. Oh, my buddy. Old friend? Meet again, friend?
So wet.
Wow, they really sprayed a lot of water on us this time.
Oh my God, there's so much water.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. Ugh.
Whoa, you're not even like that, bro. Stay behind that wall. You're not even like that.
They usually just shoot a little mist of water. Look at this.
So much water.
Like all over me, it's ridiculous. So we're at Shady Grove Memorial Hospital line on this Saturday night, opening weekend nights. Looks like chaos. Of course, Dark Shadows on the other side looks maybe not nearly as bad, but not good. Very long, very lengthy. We'll see how long it takes to get through this. All right, outside Malice, another probably 25, 30 minute wait, something like that. Most of the lines tonight, regardless of how they looked, ended up being about 25, 30 minutes, I think. Just got out of Malice in Wonderland Unleashed, and they really put effort into actually making that one as close to a haunted house as you can get at Kennywood. It's not the standard cookie cutter haunt that kind of all seemingly every other Kennywood haunted house is. There's a little bit more there. It's also a little bit lengthier than it seems most, or at least it feels that way. Also, an important note, when going through haunted houses, you want to go through with the right group of people, and we had literally the best group. The group that's scared of everything, that literally is terrified of everything, that's jumping and reacting to everything. That's the group you want in a haunted house, and that made it so much better. Anytime you go with a group of that for any haunted house, it's so much better. They don't have the heart on. The heart is not on. I've already told them. Heart. I've already told them about this. They don't have the heart on. For Phantom Fall Fest, Kennywood Park 2024, look, if you've never been to anywhere else for a haunted house event, you can have a fun night here, and it's great. Once you attempt to compare it with any other haunted house, not just in this city, but any city, suddenly, then the big problems come in. You see, most of the haunts in Kennywood are about, to be fair, a 5 to 6 to 7 minute walk through at most, sometimes 5. You shouldn't wait 30, 40, 50 minutes for any of them because they're not worth it. And okay, so all right, so let's give credit.
I didn't like the other two. Malice was worth 30
Okay.
minutes, I think.
All right, so my wife says Malice was worth it, and I have to agree.
30
That's
minutes, Malice.
30 minutes, but not an hour. Malice is easily easily Kennywood's best haunted house as of late. It's the only one that kind of feels like a tried and true haunted house. They're, you know, it's not just the standard drop wall boo that you get at other houses. Malice is actually, Malice, especially, you know, as of late with their more recent changes, ever since 21 and overnight, it's easily their best haunted house.
I appreciate the effort by the other actors and the other.
Yeah, that's not a knock.
They did their best. I think it's just
Right.
Whoever created the actual houses didn't put enough thought into them.
Okay.
But the actors themselves, I think, did the best they could with what they were working with.
Exactly right. So, keep in mind, important note, this is my wife's first time going over to Phantom Fall Fest, so she's never been here. So, Shady Grove is new to her. Kennyville Cemetery is new to her. Yet she's only been to one haunted house ever. But yet she found them lacking, and I understand that. And yet she liked Malice, and I like Malice, and I've been to a lot. But with Malice, also having that group in front of us did play, you know, they did play their part very well.
You can get behind a group of teenagers.
Yeah, what entertainment! A group of teenagers freaking out about everything was awesome. So that was good. The voodoo pasta, pretty good. I like the fact that they have themed meals for their haunts. The downside is that while voodoo pasta was good, Voodoo Bayou was closed on a limited time event where you're charging $60 for fast passes, where you're charging a premium. Now, they were offering discounted tickets, to be fair, for this opening weekend. There is no reason for the last 3 years that Voodoo Bayou should be closed on opening weekend. That doesn't make sense. It will never make sense, considering it's only a 1-month event. If you go over to Kennywood and a ride's closed, but you know all season eventually it'll open up, that's one thing. To have an event that's only a month long and to have one of your main haunts not be open, especially, and this is a Saturday, this is not even the opening day Friday, this is a opening day Saturday, and it was not open. Not great. Admittedly not great. Also, I will never, ever, ever go on opening day Saturday because I'm an idiot. I didn't think about the fact that Friday night lights, and the fact is most teenagers are away at high school football games during that Friday. So it's much less crowded. It's way less busier. The haunts are much shorter. There's not as many people in the haunts, so you get more of the scares. It's a better experience overall. This was not Kennywood's fault, but it was inundated and crowded with people.
Well, if there's gonna be crowd sizes that large, you kind of have to be in the front of the line.
Right.
If you're gonna have any chance of being scared.
Exactly right. When they're putting
If you're
through
in the back,
right.
You already saw everybody in front of you get scared, and you can see, because the groups are too large, you see everybody, you see everything ahead of you, so there's no chance.
Everything's lost on you at that point. And there was so busy, and there were so many kids there, and it was just overall not the best experience on Phantom Fall Fest for 2024. If you feel like, oh, you didn't really show, you showed a couple scare zones, you didn't even show the clowns, well, guess what? We went through the clowns the one time when I had, you know, I was carrying my food and stuff like that, and most of the clowns were out of the clown zone. When we went through at the end of the night, they weren't even there. It was completely empty. So, an uneven experience. Not the
I could have gone without getting blasted in the side of the face with water.
She was a little upset by Dead Light District, which is easily,
Like a full-blown...
yeah, easily the I would say probably the best scare zone for this trip for sure. But yeah, she did get hit with the outhouse shot, and to their they had more water come out of that this time than they have had in previous years. Like it was a hose. It was a hose full of water. And I did not expect that, and I did not warn her about that because it used to be like a mist type thing, right? Like it wasn't any like super big like pile of water. But we did not go in Villa. We did not go in Dark Shadows. We did not go in the Bayou because it was closed for some who knows what reason. And why the last 3 years? Now, 2 years ago, it was because a girl had thrown up in Voodoo Bayou and they had to clean it out. Last year was because of the power outage, because of the lightning strike. And this year, no reason. If you work at Kennywood, let me know what the reason is of why this would be closed.
The first 2 years.
I can't blame them the first 2 years, but for me, it's been the past 3.
Yeah, but the first 2.
The first 2, they have legitimate excuses. Do they have one this year? Even so, when you're only open a few weekends a month for this haunt thing and it's not open, that's a sin. I'm sorry. I don't feel that's people are like, oh, you give Kennywood a hard time. I don't feel that's being unreasonable, that all their scare zones and all their haunts are open. Why would one be closed? That doesn't make any sense, personally, to me. But an uneven experience for sure. It was cool to go through with my wife. Now, my wife is someone who can get pretty startled and scared in haunts. And admittedly, she walked through it like nothing had happened. Which is a big problem, and maybe an issue on Kennywood that maybe they need to update some of their haunts. I've kind of been saying so for years she was not a fan of Kennyville. That's no disrespect to the actors, and the caretaker is the best.
I like that guy.
Yeah, Garrett, you're awesome. But yeah, there's just things that they can improve on and not do the exact same thing they've been doing since I came here for the first time like 8 years ago now, or 7+ years ago now. It can be different. It can be updated. They could be the premier event if they wanted to be of this entire area. How can it be that a farm, who most of the year is a regular farm, just completely torches it? How can that be?
I don't even, it's not even the people working. Not even the,
yeah, it's not
like,
that. Listen, the scare actors are
it's
doing their
literally
best.
The actual houses.
Yeah, the houses themselves.
They're very outdated, and it's all the same, like, the window drops down and goes back up. The window
Drop
drops
wall,
down and
boo.
That's all it does.
Drop wall, boo. That's what it is. That's what Kennywood has been for many years. You have to find ways to innovate. Right.
And you're like, oh, it's just going to keep happening over and over.
Look, I've been saying it for many times. This is her first time here, and she's already picked it up. I want to like it, Kennywood. I like your scare actors. I like, the fact that you, like I said, you try to do things like add themed, meals to some of the haunts. I think that's a great idea. I think there are things that you can do to really make this a premier event. You got to update some of these houses. You have to. You have to for your sake. But that'll wrap it up for Kennywood Fall Fest 2024 opening weekend. Guys, thanks so much for watching.
My name is Heather.
Yeah. Are you here?
I was here.
If you're new here, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. You like to support me on Patreon, like John Bailey, like Brett Persing, like Fan, you can do so. Link is in the description below. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt, including the new TomWasHere Halloween Haunts t-shirts that are up on Spreadshirt, you can do so, as well as links to my eBay store, Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, whatnot, Arena Club, and the Pennsylvania Autograph Collectors Association. Links are in the description below. But when it comes to Phantom Fall Fest, Kennywood Park, opening weekend 2024, I can officially say that my name is TomWasHere. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe. Bye, everyone.